Hello, my name's Linda Lee Jolly, and I'm the director at the Troy-Hayner Cultural Center, and this is the View from Hayner. With me today is our exhibit coordinator, Leona Sargent.
Good morning.
Hi, Leona, and also our assistant director, David Wyan.
Good morning.
Good morning, David. You know, summer's winding down already. That is so hard to believe, but we've had such a successful summer. We had 3 weeks of wonderful day camp. And all of our outdoor concerts, all of Hayner's outdoor concerts, were able to be held outdoors. We were really excited about that because it hasn't happened in a couple years. And I don't think the heat even kept people away. We had really nice turnouts at every event that we did. So that was a lot of fun, and now it's August. And, August is still going to be a lot of fun. Our concerts are behind us for the most part, but in August, we're having our second 40th anniversary celebration here at Hayner. Yep, and the theme is that Hayner is a cultural resource for the present. And the celebration itself is going to be a concert on the front lawn by the indie folk duo Camp on Saturday, August 27th. And that concert begins at 7:30, and like most of Hayner's programming, it is free and open to the public.
Camp, who is that?
Who is that? That is an indie, as I said, an indie folk duo from Columbus. Taylor Meyer, who plays guitar and does the lead vocals, and his friend Evan Westfall, who plays the banjo, the kick drum, and also provides vocals, are the young musicians that make up Camp. And they are really exciting. They're very popular right now. They put out their first CD last spring, and they wrote a song titled Ohio, which has gone viral on Spotify.
I have heard that.
Yeah, and it's just going to be an amazing, they've got a great sound. It's going to be an amazing concert, a wonderful evening, and we're really looking forward to that. And if you want a preview of Camp, if you haven't heard them or seen them yet, there's a link to their website from our website, troyhayner.org. So you can check that out in advance or just come to the concert because it's going to be a great time. You know, when people think about the Hayner, when we talk about our theme as being a cultural resource for the present, that means we try to be current and provide quality arts and humanities opportunities for all of the citizens of the community, all ages. And a lot of people think of us as, of course, right off the big three: concerts, exhibits, and classes. But we do a lot of other things in addition to that during the course of the year. Sometimes we have art competitions. We have poetry readings and an annual poetry competition. We have a Friday night film series that has become really popular. Sometimes we have activities with the exhibits, and for being current, we've added some new programming in the last year that has really taken off. I'm thinking about the Hayner Hits the Road bus trips, David.
Absolutely. Well, we just returned actually from Cincinnati. We went to the Taft Museum to see the Downton Abbey exhibit. And we've taken several trips now, and they are just so very well received. Most of the time, we have to have a couple of buses to transport everybody. We are taking one more big trip yet this year. Unfortunately, if you haven't registered, it's too late because it's full. But we're going to New York City the end of September, 1st of October. So
I can't wait for that.
I know. It's going to be the city that never sleeps at night. We're not going to sleep while we're there. So,
all right.
And as I look forward to next year, some things that I'm thinking about doing as far as trips would be maybe to Indianapolis for a day trip to the museum there. Springfield has the Franklin Lloyd Wright House and plenty of things to see over there. Yeah, so I think we can easily make a day trip there. And maybe one of our bigger trips, maybe 3 nights or so in Chicago. That's another fun town to be a part of.
Wow, all right, that's great. Another thing that we did last year that just turned out to be amazingly wonderful is the Broadway sing-along. Can you tell us a little about that?
Sure. We had just a great time doing that. I played piano, and my brother and friend did bass and drums, and we just had a house full of people that just really came to sing. And we did Broadway tunes from old Broadway shows and current, clear up to maybe Wicked and that kind of thing. So we're going to do it again. I just need to pick a date when we're going to actually do it. But people have been asking, when are you doing it again? So that was a lot of fun.
Okay, great, thank you. And we also have children and family days, our holiday celebrations, and especially holiday open house, which is our big annual event on the first weekend in December. So many people in the community look forward to that and make it part of their holiday celebration. And then things like Valentine dinner and a show and Mrs. Hayner's tea, those programs have become so popular that they're actually multi-day events so that we can serve as many people as we possibly can.
We have 2 teas.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
waiting
and
lists.
and
And
Valentine
waiting
dinner.
lists,
Yeah,
yes.
that's great. And we do in-school programming with the kids. Always working to bring arts experiences to the children and develop new audiences for the arts. One of the things that's happened in the last couple of years is the music student workshops. When we bring a professional musician into town, maybe to do a concert at Hayner, we also work out a plan where they have the opportunity to work with some of our band students or our choral students and just give the kids that are, serious about music a really good opportunity to work with a professional. And I love those experiences. I just know they mean so much to the kids. It's so much to see how engaged the children are when we participate in those. And of course, we also run a community art program where we provide art experiences for the children that participate in the summer lunch programs around town in the parks and in Garden Manor and different Presbyterian Church, I think, different places around town.
Karen Perk, our representative for that?
She is, and she's just amazing with children.
She is, yes. I just did an event with her at the Tip City Park just yesterday.
That's great. That's great. So we try to get out and do a lot of different things. As far as the big 3 are concerned, the concerts, when we plan our concerts, we have very small venues here at the Hayner, and we have a very big constituency, meaning the entire community of Troy and beyond. So we try to do a lot of concerts in a variety of styles. We have a chamber series on Tuesdays during the school. We have a collaboration with the Dayton Mountain Dulcimer Society to do a folk concert every year. March is Jazz Month. There's always something going on. And sometimes, it's different when you go to hear live performance. Sometimes we bring in performers that we have seen showcase at the Performing Arts Conference, and we hear and see things that we just think the people of Troy just need to see. They're just people that are so creative. Their musicianship is, so extraordinary that we want to see them. And a good example of that was Mark Cruz, who came and played one of our concerts here in the courtyard. This summer, he played a 2-neck guitar. You don't get to see that very often. And if you missed it, you really missed something. Thanks to modern technology, I think there's a link on our Facebook page that you can probably still find to have an opportunity to see a little bit of what he did. But just concerts like that are just amazing, and you have to be here. You have to be here. Also, we provide a venue for local artists and have had concerts like the homecoming concert where we bring a Trojan alumni back every year to perform. So we're looking forward to those kinds of things. I think we're having a Horn Fest this year with some of our local musicians. And then our exhibits. We do exhibits. They last about 6 to 8 weeks. I know that coming up we have a whole string of fine art exhibits. They're often cultural in nature, usually with a bend towards the art of a particular culture. Sometimes they're historic. We do the annual children's art, and often with presentations or activities that relate to the exhibit itself. And right now, Leona, we're sitting in the middle of the gallery, which is full of the current exhibit.
Correct. Our current exhibit is Covering the Past. It's called Covering the Past because these are coverlets. They are woven, and they are all from the 1800s. None really past the 1860s. That's because coverlets were a popular decorative bed covering, and then when quilts became a decorative bed covering, coverlets kind of lost their popularity. But you'll find most of these were made by men who wove as a profession. Coverlets are actually a historical document in themselves. Most of them will say who made them, what year, where, and if they were made for somebody, they'll also say that, which is, it's kind of neat to think that we can have just that little bit of history in the corner of a nearly 200-year-old piece of fabric.
So the earliest ones were hand woven, but it was like an industry, right?
It truly was. It was an industry. We have had a local weaver. His name was Michael Franz, who is buried in the Riverside Cemetery, who actually got a patent for a new loom. And part of his patent's actually on display out in our hallway.
So that was part of a patent for a loom that was more mechanized?
Yes, it was a newer invention. It allowed them to do more things.
Okay.
Kind of like the Jacquard loom did as well. And that was a French man who invented that one. And with the Jacquard loom, they could put their designs on a card, punch holes in it, and then that design would be woven into the fabric, much like a player piano would read from a scroll. And you could get very intricate designs with that
That's
particular
the thing
loom.
that amazes me about the coverlets that are on display is the designs themselves and how intricate they are. They're just beautiful works of art in themselves.
Yes.
It's gorgeous.
Yes, our curator for this exhibit just did a wonderful job finding all these. Her name is Judy Dieter. She is the president of the Historical Society and the Overfield Tavern Museum. And all of these coverlets, they either came from local museums or they came from individual collections. So it's a neat coming together of history here.
That's great. That's great. Then also tell us about the other of the big three, which is classes. Now, we have just developed instituted the Mary Coleman Allen Academy in order to provide classes for people of all artistic levels. So we want to have classes that people that maybe don't feel that they have much artistic talent to come and explore their creativity in a very non-threatening environment. Opportunities for people to hone their artistic skills if they find that they do have an interest and want to develop the talents that they have. And then occasionally provide a workshop for working artists that will maybe inspire and enhance what it is that they're trying to do. So what's up for August?
Oh, all kinds of things for August. We have Donna Pierce Clark, who teaches water media and oil painting classes for folks beginning and intermediate levels. Christina Gluck teaches a Zentangle drawing class, which is just a really neat class and a good way for folks to start if they don't feel like they have a whole lot of.
You don't need a lot of talent to do Zentangle. The teaching equips you, and it's again, and thinking about being current. This is something that is really popular right now, to do these designs and create a colorful design for yourself. You're right. You don't need a lot of talent to begin.
Yes, and we have a plein air painting class with Deborah Ahmed, and Journey into the Art of Oil Painting with Ginger Godfrey, and that class is just so popular. She teaches the Bob Ross method, a perfect place to start. You can walk in without any previous oil painting experience and walk out with a completed, beautiful oil painting. And she is such a good teacher.
Her classes are very popular.
Yeah, they're also very full most of the time.
That's great.
We have Emily Casper, who teaches knitting for all levels. So that's neat. That's something that I personally don't have any experience with, is knitting. I'm thinking of taking a class.
And I think
That would be fun.
You know, if again, trendy, a lot of knit fashion work that, and Emily will pick those projects. So
Right.
it's not like starting at lesson 1 in a book. You choose a project that is current, and you're going to end up with a nice um, piece of clothing or accessory for yourself, or as a unique gift.
Right, correct. We also have some kids' art coming up. Optical illusion drawing with Kathy Moore. And, you know, right now, the beginning of August, folks should be watching here in a couple of weeks. It's time to start thinking about back to school and Hayner's programs that run with the school year. Start watching for Homeschool Art by Dawn Flory and Ballet for Girls with Cynthia Schreffler. Yes, thousands of girls, have learned ballet from Miss Cindy.
That's great. That's great. And I think that one of the things about the kids class, the optical illusion class that we're offering now, when you say it's time to start thinking about going back to school, you know, it's also time to think about that we're asking those kids to come back into the classroom and settle down after, you know, having their summer vacation and being a bit freer. And a class like that might be a good way to transition back into school. Yeah. So that's a good opportunity. I think the kids get a little restless by the end of August anyway. And so the parents sure do. Yeah, they do. You know, and I think as we thinking about planning to fall, one of the things that I want to encourage everybody to do is to think about how they can include arts experiences in their own life. You know, we get very busy, and one thing I hear from people that know and love the Hayner is, oh, I meant to go to this, I meant to go to that. And I think that Hayner being right in our backyard, and like you said, so many of the opportunities are free and open to the public, you feel like you can go anytime, and you never get there. So I know that for myself personally, I'm the same way. I get busy, but there have been years and times when I'm like, there's a little artistic void going on in my life. And I would set goals for myself. Like, I am going to participate in one performing arts event a month. I'm going to go to the art museums quarterly, and that includes hopefully the Hayner Gallery. You know, it's really easy and accessible. But if you make a goal to include the arts in your life, it's more likely that that's going to happen for you. Absolutely. So, okay, well, then let's go back to the celebration at the end of August with camp, because that is a great night to visit the Hayner, come out and enjoy the music and see the coverlets. Yes. And enjoy the house one more time, because for only the second time in Hayner's 40-year history, we are closing our doors in September, just for the month of September. But we're going to take the opportunity to refinish the floors on the second floor, do some maintenance to some of the other high traffic areas. The second floor, actually, this is like the final phase of floor refinishing, and they haven't been touched since the volunteers tried to do them themselves to get ready for the grand opening of the Hayner in 1976. So we have to do this, and the only way to get it done is to close the building. And we're going to do some other touch-up things. We're going to redo the front doors. We're going to redo some doors in the house that have been waiting in line a long time. We're adjusting some of the exhibit lighting to get a better,
Very excited about that.
to get better lighting on the fine art exhibits that are coming up. But then also we're going to change to LEDs,
yes,
which
we are.
is energy efficient in the long run. So we're happy to be able to do that. And then during September, brochures will still be mailed as usual. We'll have the registration process, get ready for fall, and we hope everybody will come back again for the grand reopening on Sunday, October 9th. And that is also the opening of the fine art exhibit that you talked about. I haven't, did you?
I didn't yet. Actually, October 9th from 2 to 4 is the opening of our next exhibit, which is paintings by Shirley DeLotte and Donna Pierce Clark, and pottery or ceramics by Pamela Reidenauer. All three of these ladies are local working artists. Donna Pierce Clark, who does fantastic wet on wet watercolor paintings. She's an instructor here at the Hayner. She has an art degree from Wright State University. She was a secondary school art teacher, so she just has lots and lots of experience. She's very well known in the area. She has a blog and a website that are kept up all the time. Shirley DeLotte also does paintings. She is one of our receptionists who just has some really incredible talent. Shirley,
Their styles are a little different.
they are a little different, even though the exhibit is called Vessels, Visions, and Vistas. And the Vessels, stands for the Pottery by Pamela Reidenauer. Her things are just, they're beautiful. They are functional. She exhibits, or you can see her things at Basil's on Market. And she is now, in her biography, she says that being a professional working artist is her second act in her life. So this is what she does. All three of these ladies have studios that they work out of. Shirley retired from being a graphic artist and a designer. So she has a tendency for her work to be incredibly representational, very almost nearly photographic, and they're amazing works. And I just invite folks to come and enjoy the exhibit, and come on the 9th and meet these artists, and all the other things that we're going to have going on that day. It's going to be a big day.
It is going to be a big day, and we will have several other activities taking place, and we'll be excited to open the doors and kind of see Hayner and the uplift that these particular projects bring to it as we move forward to our next 40 years. And again, we invite people to come out on August 27th to hear camp, come back on October 9th for the grand reopening and the artist opening for the exhibition. And
Watch for that class brochure. You watch for that class brochure. Watch online. Even though we're closed, the phones will still be open, and so they can call in and register for classes. They can register online, same as normal, or
we'll be here.
We'll be here.
We'll pick up the mail every day. Yeah. So, all right. Well, lots to look forward to. And thank you both for being here today. And that's the View from Hayner.